Okay, welcome back to the 8th plot, another Minecraft video today, continuing my build of the Ark, the giant spaceship from Stolen Futures. So, what I'm going to do today is add the levels. Now, obviously this Ark is not to scale, and even the insides are also not to scale. So, when you were if you were looking at this ship for real, these levels that I'm adding would actually be much further towards the top of the pyramid. And there are 3 levels inside the Ark. So when Dr. Ghost, the character who organised this entire rescue effort to save a remnant of humanity in the story, when he was rebuilding, redesigning the Ark, he added these 3 layers. The top part of the Ark is really supposed to only house chimneys, which the Ark used to suck in air, which was used to suck in water from planet Earth, and he added to the space various things that humanity would need. Now, some things that did exist were the engine that you can see near the bottom there of the screen, the shaft that led towards the lower section of the Ark, and a control room and docking bay, and a few other rooms which would have been on the top level, which you'll see appear as my red avatar goes about his work. So what I'm using is a sort of fill command to just put in the levels rather than go back and forth, putting in the blocks myself. This is much quicker. So these 3 levels were all part of how the Arkanauts would survive on this ship on their way to a new planet. So this first level that you can see just magically appearing as my red avatar goes to various points to get coordinates in which to fill within. This first level is the cargo bay. Now the cargo bay is truly massive. We're talking like perhaps a couple of square miles, a few square kilometers of space. It's not completely full, but from around about where the engine room is on this level, stretching outward, is just row after row of shelving filled with crates, filled with foodstuffs, tools, anything that Dr. Ghost can get his hands on in order to stock up the Ark so that when the Arkanauts reach a new homeworld, they can use it all to rebuild human civilization. There's also things like tractors, other vehicles that could be of help, maybe even some weapons. The most interesting thing that's stored in the cargo bay there is crates for every single Arkanaut, which contains artifacts from their respective countries, nations, peoples. So Callum, for example, Callum Tasker, the main character, he has a crate in which you'll find the crown jewels, a piece of stone from Stonehenge, a couple of artworks, maybe some music as well, all cultural artifacts from England, the country he represents on the Ark. Who else? Oda from Japan, for example, has the 3 great treasures of Japan in his crate, plus some sort of famous swords and a flag from his country. Let's see, who else would there be? Who did I mention? Oh, well, France, Cortés, the French representative, he has a crate stuffed with amazing artwork and even a few pieces of famous sculptures to remember France by, even though the Earth has been destroyed and France no longer exists in the Stolen Futures universe. Those are the most interesting things in the cargo bay level. It's truly massive, and one thing that the Arkanauts had to do when they got on board was to double check that everything was there. Not that it would have done much good if it wasn't, since the Earth was destroyed by this point. Okay, so my avatar's now working on the next level up. On this level is where all the sort of is the control room, which is an original part of the Ark, and there is some pumping and sort of conduits for distribution of power. Those are original, but what was added was a water processing facility to make sure that the water that the Arkanauts were using could be recycled and kept clean and healthy. There's also obviously there's a cafeteria, there's the living quarters, there's a medical bay, there's a few other rooms for just, like a library sort of thing, and there's a theatre as well. It's shaped like a theatre, but it's not really a theatre, it's just a big cinema screen, and it's there for PowerPoint presentations on what the Arkanauts will be doing during their time. There's also an anti-gravity room, which is just a big sports hall where you can increase or decrease the gravity for the Arkanauts to have fun with. So every single room that's on this level is there for every single Arkanaut, each one tailored to specifications that Dr. Ghost managed to put together. And that's where all the Arkanauts live. So they have one room and a little shower in each room too. Dr. Ghost wanted to give every crew member their own sort of privacy to help them cope and deal with being ripped away from planet Earth, their whole family, to be the last remnant of humanity. And that's what's on the second floor. Now the third floor is just about to appear, almost complete, and this is the robot storage area. So Dr. Ghost included loads of different robots from around the planet, because don't forget this is set in the 2030s, late 2030s, early 2040s. Humanity at this point has built lots and lots of robots which are very useful, and they're all here are stored on this level, and they can zip down on little elevators to the level below, and during the night they do things for the Arkanauts that the Arkanauts can't do, and they look after the ship and tend to it when something goes wrong. These robots, there's also like a medical droid who does all the like patching up of the Arkanauts should there be an accident, and will perform any surgery and the like should the Arkanauts need it in the future. So there you go. That's the 3 levels of the Ark. In the next video, I will attempt to fill them, or maybe I'll do a bit more around the edge of the Ark. Make sure those new levels correspond to the sides of the Ark once it's completely filled in, and it looks like the Ark is properly embedded in Iceland, per the book's description. And there we go. The Ark's 3 levels, and yeah. Thanks for watching this video. Check out the rest on this channel. And thanks for watching. Have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Goodbye.